the Works of Darkness on Phasmin and Janice, the Skyfight Entertainment podcast designed to entertain you. Basically, darkness has been a theme on the podcast, you'll know from the reviews I've done. But what about Maul Shallow as a whole? Why do I love it so much? Well, join me as I discuss Maul Shallow Series 1 and explain. Maul Shallow, the newest hit series in my opinion, and if you haven't seen or listened to all 10 reviews yet, which have now been released, you can now see them on my YouTube channel. I'll put the link in the description down below. As you can tell, I basically was praising it all the time and just saying how much I enjoyed it in a way. Yes, I really have. I do think they could have gone through leak free, but 2 characters were leaked via poster form, Darth Vader and Devon. But at least it's better than maybe what other shows have had. I mean, Doctor Who has a leaking problem, and we'll probably discuss that at a later date. Also, we are getting another series of Maul next year, which is so exciting. But let's focus on series 1. Sam Witwer, of course, was our leading man, and this was Maul's story. I'm a big fan of his arc in the show. For example, I love seeing the straight side of him in the Creeping Fear. I've only seen a few performers close to what Sam is capable of, and that was, of course, back in 2024 with Catherine Hunt and Aubrey Plaza back in Agatha All Along. Like that, we dive into the saga! In Maul's case, this was a different situation, as for the girls, they were like mad because Jeff took Agatha's dying son, all that kind of stuff, and had a long-term hatred for each other. But that's all I'll say there. With Mr. Maul, he joined Sid Sidious and was treated badly and disposed as you saw back in the Clone Wars. And it's one of the moments of the year, and there'll be another scene that does it from London Grogu, which you'll see me talk about in the episode I do on that. This will stand out for a very long time. His need for an apprentice is such an interesting idea, and his revenge on numerous individuals that wronged him is also so captivating for me, and I just enjoy it. Gillian Allen, of course, I've got to mention, yes, she brought a lot to Devon and Izara, who slow burned her way to the dark side. I loved how consistent Devon was, and they planted the seeds from the beginning. Her recklessness to survive in the new world, and Maul's persuasion, or manipulation as we fans like to call it, all leads to her transformation to the dark side after the death of her master. And she goes loco in a way. Still reckless, but very, very angry. And once again, Gillian Allen, Queen, you did a great job with that. Yeah, so she's very angry, so this leads to Maul trying to stop her from doing something drastic or rash, which is something he really does. And she actually listens to him, which is crucial in her arc, and she's got to listen to the king of stiffness, or is he? I love the screaming that I see from Devon when she's going dark. It's something that makes her stand out, and I'm hoping we see more of that next season, because I enjoy feeling her anger at what's going on. She deserves therapy. Louis Vario is one of the most iconic villains, if I'm honest. When we first see him, he's nearly overpowered by one of his arch nemesis, which is Nicodemus, who was entertaining as well and very dangerous and dominant, until Mr. Lutey finally overpowered him without any aid, and is able to end his reign. What is very notable with Lutey is he survives Maul's mercy and decides to stick around with the Shadow Collective once he's free. And at the end of the series, is very instrumental into helping Maul rebuild his criminal empire a bit, and escaping Genix as well. I just think he is an entertaining character and an insufferable criminal who I think is an icon. The Lawsons, of course, are the iconic family. Hard-working Brander to Balkanstar, right to mysterious Imperial worker Drea. I love the protectiveness they have for each other. Even Drea, regardless of what she is, credit to her when she says something on the lines of staying out of trouble. Brander's hatred for the Imperials to wanting what's best for his son and wanting to keep Jack safe is strong writing. The comics, which I'll get to one day, do him justice as well. It works both ways. Lawson is a workaholic, as you all know, and I do love his relationship with Two Boots, as they do have a love relationship, but also I know that Brander gets exasperated when Two Shoes wants to get the Empire involved. That is really hard hitting, as we see him face his fate to allow the guys to escape Jax. However, due to a rule which I don't technically agree with, because they're kind of copping out, essentially, and you know I have harsh words about that. Thank you, Stephen Moffat. He could still be alive, but he did see more push ego into Vader's path, and writers have hinted something about the betrayal. This could change it around, if true, but it needs a good art, and it's going to be very tough, especially with these soccer heroes likely to be strong. He will need something special, but Nakamura is the right person for this role, and if they were bringing Brander back from the dead, Wagner could easily help make it even better and give us fantastic Lawson. But we'll see. I think Riley was good, but I do hope next season, with Charlie Bushnell, they give him more voice, spectacular moments, and of course, important action and breakthrough, because Riley deserves a chance to show how different he is to his dad, as he is slowly getting there, but he needs a push from the writers to become even more great. We'll see. Dennis Haber plays a flawed Jedi Master, Iko Gyotaki. He always believed in the quiet side of the Force by sneaking undetected, but that leads to the disagreement of Devon, which is prevalent in the acts to simplify the differences between the two Jedi. I love that he is very, very knowledgeable, but I also love the fact that he is different and he just wants to get to safety but do it quietly, but they can't because it's a tricky situation. As I previously said, his death is the catalyst for Devon going rogue, and it's a sad moment. A man with good intentions, but also remember, like Maul, he was struggling with his injuries and he wasn't at his best, but he fought Vader as hard as he could, as we remember him valiantly, and his death still moves me. The criminal underworld is one of the best elements of the series, in my personal opinion. From the crime syndicates to Maul's Shadow Collective, I love explaining things from their point of view. See what I did there? The gang boys were brilliant in The Dark Revenge, when Maul orchestrated this fight between Vader and Dubis to get his revenge, and of course with Mark Crimson Spike in Pride Events. It's just one of those iconic moments that really stands out, and I want to see more of it. I'm hoping we see more with Maul going to take down Rentero in the next series. That's going to be very interesting to see, and I can't wait to see all that kind of jazziness. Of course, Maul's gang as well were a talking point in my honest opinion. Iconic, legends, but they're gone! Still sad about that. Even Spybot, so many shinies. David W. Collins is a legend for this, and do check out his stuff. He's an icon. Also, the sad Master Vanessa Marshall as Rockcast as well. Caress your slime. Justice for Rock. But it was a very important moment to see that Darth Vader's reveal was meant to be like that, and Rock unfortunately pays the price. And of course, it is a grim death, which is so sad. As I said, Justice for Rock. I'm siding with Sam and Vanessa on this one at the recent Fan Expo Denver, where they're encountering cosplayers who are being Marek and the Crow. It's such a moment, and I just like the fact that they're just getting into character with life, and it's just a bit of fun, and that's what cosplay is all about. But please, don't do anything bad if you go to a con, because that is just not right. The collective are enjoyable, and have this personally that makes me like them, even though they're criminals. Plus, don't forget Icarus and Scorn, and they were cool. I would have loved them to speak more, but that would have given them something more, but they were brilliant. And once again, Their deaths make me sad. We have to have a section where we talk about the Imperial Tuts. They were scary. Once again, we had the insufferable Lieutenant Blake, who was an absolute menace. His defeat is iconic. He never saw it come. He was just an iconic villain, and every time I saw him, I was like, oh, naughty. From Imperials to Sith Force users or non-Sith Force users, Raiders and the Inquisitors were done well for me. Nothing jokey about the Inquisitors, which helped them, as I feel they're kind of a joke sometimes, but when they're like this, they're more memorable in a good way. I think this series was an all-rounder, as there were mostly heavy-hitting episodes, especially in the second half, as that was a strong run, especially with the vocal performances. The Kindness, once again, they never missed with their music. Sean, Dina and Kevin are some of the best musical trios out there, and I love what they do, and I can't wait for whatever they do next. Matt Mitchell and Brad Wall have been quite strong, and this show increases their track record of strong shows, and I think Tales of the Underworld was a catalyst for this, as that's a big hit on this podcast. Plus, Brad of Bad Batch fame stayed consistent as well. Plus, Brad's colleague Jeff McCormick was part of the writing team and gave us some good moments, especially with Maul in The Creeping Fear. Overall, this is a show that finally got it right since Agatha All Along. Their success is joyful, but they have to stay consistent to stay right up there next series. Lawson thing is the thing that might make the difference if he's alive, but if you get the arc he just needs, as they usually do so, they should be fine. I think voice actors deserve more recognition, as they're just as talented as actors, but these guys put just as much passion, and that makes me respect not just them, but everyone involved in the art of animations. Artists, writers, and everyone, thank you and keep up the good work. What did you think of Maul Shadowmore? Are you hyped for season 2? You can let me know in the comments down below or at First Picture on social media. Also, if you love the podcast, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications, as things are going to get wild and more fun. Going forward, I will be dropping what the next episode will be until I do the preview, as things are going to keep changing at this point, and to keep the podcast relevant and with what's happening at time, what's to come is going to be amazing. So stay tuned for all of that, and plus I'll be doing a topic that I haven't been doing in a while. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for listening to the podcast. Subscribe to Phasma and